What is going on? How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are ready. We're going to have a very, very good stream today, man. We're going to be talking about something super duper important. We're going to talk about the state of the trenches. And the main thing is we want to make sure everybody gets ready for this bull run, right? For this bull run. And even if it's not a super duper bull run, I just hope everybody gets ready because we are going to need to lock in because there is a ton of money out there just waiting for you to just kind of put your hands around it and grab it and take it. All right. So make sure you guys are ready to lock in here as fast as you possibly can. And we should be good to go. All right, let's get it started. So what's going on? As you guys know, one of the most talked about things right now currently in the internet is this meme right here. Pretty crazy. It had a beautiful downturn and now it got a crazy push almost up to 3 mil. We'll talk a little bit about this coin. We'll talk about a few other coins in just a little bit, but let's get started and say hello to everybody. My boy Ernie, what's up? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Being number one. Reaper, yo, what's up? William, welcome to the Bolts Alpha. Good to see you there, brother. Hope to talk to you on the Discord server whenever we get a chance. Auto Doc, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Geo, what's up? Devin, Choco Chips, Gab, my boy Wheels. Let's go. We got Queen Saver Blast, and we got Cryptotron. What else we got up in here? We have Bullish. Crypto Mike, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. We have Jason. We also have Pechi Poli with the pause. I love it. And then we got number 3, Bo. What's up, number 3? Her and William, what's going on? Sean, what's up? And I think we got everybody. Awesome. Okay, so William is also part of the Bolts Alpha. Awesome. Glad to have you on the Discord. Looking forward to talking to you, man. Hopefully you guys have a good time. And we are ready to rock and roll, man. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out. We're going to talk a lot about really cool stuff. And one of the biggest questions that we get asked a lot, right, is basically, how do I use my port? What do I do with my port? What's going on with my port? Okay, that's one of like the biggest things that we get asked. Most importantly, we're going to talk about that because I think it's super duper important. We'll also be looking for some plays here, that are coming out. A little bit. I saw one that came out and I was like, yo, this looks actually pretty bullish and this looks actually pretty good. What's up, Blicky? But the PvP went crazy on it, man. The PvP went crazy, and it's like kind of on this sugar one. Like there was sugar, there was like dude, there was like 20 of these that came out, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to probably skip that one. But that's the only one that came out. I was keeping an eye on. But we are keeping an eye on this sombrero one, which, I mean, I mentioned it in on the Discord. We were talking about this particular coin, how it's very similar to Please. So we'll see how it does. We're gonna keep an eye. We're gonna keep tracking on it here as we progress. All right. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. See what's going on. Okay, listen. Things are going crazy. Things are happening, right? What exactly is happening? Well, let's take a look. All right. So what we looked at from on Tuesday, we got a little bit of upgrade. And now we are at from 15K up to 20K. So we got a nice 5,000, boost here. Okay, we got a nice 5,000 boost, and the graduation also went up to 109. So that's a pretty big increment. Still not where I want it to be. I kind of want to be like within a 10%, which is about, like, I want to have at least 200 graduating, right? So we're not fully there, but we're getting there, which is a good thing. And the reason it's good is because pump.fun is doing pretty well. Now, the reason a lot of coins are not graduating is because a lot of the older coins are actually blowing up, okay? And we're going to talk about this. I'm just going to draw these again. Let's draw this in a different color. Let's do yellow this time. So we'll do this. And the thing is, I always like to keep track of this, and you should probably be keeping track of this as well, because it's going to help you trade in the long run, okay? You could easily do what I do, which is just come in here and just write the 20K, or you can write it down on a notepad. But basically, this is just to help you kind of know how volume is doing and how, what you should be trading on. Right. So 200K, and then we have 109 graduated. Roughly, I wish it was 200, but it's not. Okay. We also kind of want to come down here and just kind of see what's moving. So far, we're pretty much entwined into what's actually over and out. With that being said, let's jump into see what's going on. Is there something that's causing this madness, right? What's the difference? So Kenzie says, what is the difference between Bolts Alpha and support membership? So support membership is basically just like, you support the channel, you support what we're doing. You want to make sure that you are backing us up. Basically, that's kind of like the support. The Bolts Alpha it gives you the advantage of getting into our Discord server and getting a chance to ask questions, further the conversation. It gives you early access to calls we make on the Discord server that we don't make on Telegram, or we don't make on X, or we do make them, but we end up making them a little bit later. You also get access to special video content that you don't get access to prior to that, kind of like like how to do filters, how to trade, and all that stuff. So you can it's pretty much the best thing you could possibly get your hands on, if that makes sense. So that's to answer that question. I hope that it answers it. If it doesn't, we could ask a little bit more. So what's going on? So we have pump.fun, we have Blitzbunk, kind of similar to what we had last time, but we kind of want to see it down here. Okay, so there was a little bit of a shift. There's a little bit of a shift that happened, and I don't know why it's not being registered on this particular website, but there has been a little shift, and we're going to talk about what that shift is. Okay, so if you notice right here, we went from 80 to 103, 20. We went from 38 to 9, so big drop off here. But one thing I want you to keep an eye on is this right here, guys. Look, this one, 165 on the Believe. Now, the thing with the Believe is like it doesn't work similar to the bottom ones where you have to graduate the token for the token to go live. So Believe works a little bit different, but you do see a large boost when it comes to the Believe ecosystem, which is actually pretty good. And we're going to go over the Believe ecosystem in a little bit, but we do see kind of like it's maintaining its concept when it comes to the pump and bunk. The reason we want to keep track of this is because we want to know if for some reason there's a launchpad that's doing better than the other one. Like for example, if bunk were to flip pump, we would definitely start looking for more stuff within the bunk ecosystem, just to see, to make it a better trade, if that makes sense. With that being said, the volume is looking pretty good. All right, the volume's pretty good. So we should be good. Hey, driving home. Hope I didn't miss anything. Hope you have a safe drive, Ashley. And you more than 2x on the NoFlix. So we want to know. We want to get a report whenever you get home. So we got the pump fun. We have 148. Love it. 148. I love the volume there. And the good thing about it is bunk has actually kind of not gone up, but it's not faded, which is another really good thing. Okay. So that's what's up with that. So we're going to go ahead and go here to pump. All right. And then we're going to go to bunk. All right. So we go here. So that's 148 mil. 18 mil on bunk. All right. So that's what we have. That's what we have as far as that. So let's go ahead and get that going. So now, I think that's pretty cool. All right, so we have 148, a lot of bigger and better. So we see the pump is getting a lot of volume, which is actually pretty cool. All right, so now what's going on in the Believe ecosystem, right? What's going on in Believe? A lot of really good things are happening in the Believe. Okay, so when we were talking about this, I think last week, we had LaunchCoin was like I think it was like around 60 mil. This one almost 3x. Actually, it did 3x last night. It went up all the way to like 130 mil, I think. So LaunchCoin did pretty good. PMX, which is theoretically the same thing as PQ, this one did amazing for us. We actually called it on the previous video, and that's right here. All right, we called it right here. So boom, 40. And the other cool thing about this one is we got the dupe coin actually went up as well. We were looking at dupe around 4.5 mil. That's when it kind of went down a little bit. Like this was, I think it was last week or before a little bit last week, but it went, it did a nice 4 to 5x, which is actually pretty good, right? Now, But that's pretty awesome. So a lot of really good stuff is happening within the Believe ecosystem, which is pretty amazing. Now, what's happening overall in general? So as you guys see from the last time we saw this, right? From the last time we saw this, guys, huge improvement. Look at this, guys. Everything is green. Everything is green. We love it. And if you guys are loving the content, if you guys are enjoying it, make sure you guys don't forget to slap that like button and you know, show some support there by sharing the videos, sharing the stream, and letting people know if they want alpha, this is where to come and get it, right? So what do we have so far? This is what we got, guys. A lot of really cool stuff. Listen, Bitcoin 120, which is kind of like what we mentioned, right? We mentioned a little bit about that. We also talked a little bit about Solana, 234 on Solana. Beautiful. From that 180, was it? I think it was like 180 bounce. So everything looks pretty good. Can't wait for Solana to hit 300. But 250 is kind of like where we want to get back to. But Bitcoin 120 bounce, amazing bounce. Expect this to kind of break that, you know, barrier that it's holding back on, and probably crush like 165 on its way to 200. And everything is looking beautiful. The other coins I just love to mention, of course, is Hyper Liquid. We're at 50 here, which is amazing. We got Sui at 358. I kind of want to make sure this is roughly like around 5. So a lot of really cool stuff when it comes to the ecosystem and what's happening within the trenches. Okay, let me just check something real quick here before we get started. Some barrels kind of flying, still going crazy there. Really good trade there. But let's see. Let me go to Hyper here real quick. Alright, so that kind of died off. Let's see what's going on here. And let's check this other one. Or is that the same one? Same status? I guess this was a post that got deleted. Oh, okay. If you could keep an eye on me, for some reason I keep seeing this Justice for Greta. I just don't know. Everybody's posting this link, but I just don't know if anything happened to her. Oh, let's see. Let me just double check here. This was 7 hours ago. I'm a citizen. I've been abducted and it's taken against my will by the Israeli forces. Is this real? This was 7 hours ago. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on that because that is pretty newsworthy, and if something happens to her, right? She got locked up, I think, like right now. Well, that was like what? I mean, if it's 15, like it's old news. Okay, cool. I was wondering why I was like it kept popping on the feed here. So okay. Anyways, so back to what we were talking about beforehand. Okay, we'll look at a couple coins right now. But today we want to kind of talk about this, guys. All right. So we want to talk about your port strategy. Okay. So one of the biggest things that we get asked a lot, and one of the things that people are like, yo, can we get a little bit more information on what exactly, how you should be able to allocate your port? I want to know how many of you guys actually have that that question. Like, how many of you guys have that question on how a port should be allocated? Because it is a super important thing. Okay, so we want to make sure we do that. Okay, let me go ahead and reload this here real quick and come back here. Because people want to know, like, how do you allocate your port, right? That's like that's like the main thing. And we want to make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure we set this up here. Okay, cool. So a lot of people are like, yo, how do we allocate the port? What do we do with the port? Because it's a super important question. And one of the biggest questions that we get asked a lot within the Bolt Alpha which is, that's the advantage of having the Bolts Alpha. You actually get to ask questions if you have a question regarding regarding anything. If you're like trading and you're like, I wonder what that is. I wonder how do you do this. And a lot of people are like, how do you allocate it, right? So what should we do? A lot of you guys have a ton of questions, and we love to answer the questions, but we want to make sure we address the questions as much as we can, to kind of get that idea. Okay, so one of the biggest questions, and not only does Koba actually have this question, but a lot of other people have the same question, right? Is the following. So you could, there's multiple. We're gonna kind of split the way trades work, and then we're gonna give you an idea of how the allocation should work depending on your port. Okay. So the question is, do you consider it safe to throw SOL on weekly calls as opposed to betting daily calls? So what he's referring to is, like, as you guys know, every week I put up a video on Sunday, and if you are a Bolts Alpha member, you will get access to this video pretty much a day before it goes live on YouTube. So that gives you kind of like a big advantage, depending on the trade you're getting into. You're pretty much getting it before anybody else. Usually when the video goes out and people start bidding on it, right? You want to make sure that you also do, the other part of this question is, or how should you divide your port? In my example, I'm currently setting at 1.8 SOL. What would be the best way to split this? Okay, so that's kind of like the question a lot of people have, is they're trying to figure out, okay, so if I have a small port or a big port, what is actually the best way for me to actually go from, keeping my port within one confined area, but still be able to make a lot of money or a good amount of money with my 1 SOL or 2 SOL. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to break that down, and I'm going to give you guys 2 different scenarios on how you do that. Okay, a lot of you guys, or some of you guys, are asking about also BND. So basically, this is my theory. Okay, listen. So I've been through this. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the volume that we're having, issue with the volume that we're having right now on the Solana ecosystem, is the fact that there is a little bit of downturn when it comes to volume. As you guys know, ever since Aster came out, a lot of people started transitioning and started moving over to kind of just trading over there on the BND kind of like ecosystem. The thing is, I've been through this story before. Okay, so last year we had a thing where everybody was like, oh, well, look at this, guys. Look at this shiny new thing. It's called TON. Let's go trade on TON, right? So everybody started migrating and trading on TON. I think only lasted like about a month or 2. Everybody came back to Solana. Then we had it last year where it was, let's go trade on Sui. And then everybody went over to Sui, traded that for a little bit. It only lasted for like a month or 2. All right, so, and the same thing happened. Everybody was like, oh, let's go trade on BNB. It only lasted for a month or 2. So my question to you guys is, listen, you could either chase the FOMO, okay? You can go chase the FOMO on BNB, but I'm telling you right now, you just need to stick to where you're at, bro. Okay, this is just my consensus. Do not follow the FOMO, guys. Okay, I already saw, like on BNB, I already see the people running those coins. Those coins are about to get rugged, bro. Right? So you just gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Like if you're a good trader, you can definitely chase the FOMO because you already know what you're doing. But if you're not, and you just stick to what you know. All right, that's kind of like where it is. Everybody's gonna come back regardless. All right, everybody's gonna come back to Solana. So it is what it is. All right, so that's kind of like what you want to be at when it comes to that. For those of you asking the questions about BND, all right. If you don't know what BND is, you can also ask. Too many Jeets on Solana. It's the same thing over there, guys. The only reason the coins are going up on that side is because the same people that came from Solana went over there. They're running up coins. Give it like 2 to 15 days, and you'll see where the coin's at, and then you're gonna come back and be like, "Crap, the same thing happened." Right? This is basically what happens all the time. All right, so that's how we're gonna talk about today. So I'm gonna give you 2 different scenarios, okay? And the reason I'm gonna give you 2 different scenarios, it's super important. We're gonna call one a high risk scenario, and then we're gonna call one a low risk scenario. Okay, so we're gonna split this kind of like in 2 columns, and we're gonna talk about how you would allocate this if you're constantly trading. Okay, let me go ahead and do. Let me see if I write this down here. come here. All right, so let's see. Uh, just like Plasma and Apex, they turn to trash. Dude, it's just like the thing is everybody's trying to just chase the next new shiny thing. You know, that's just pretty much what it is. And then when that new shiny thing kind of breaks down, everybody's like, "Oh no, what happened?" Okay. So we'll do the high risk one on we'll do the high risk one here on this side. All right. So we are gonna do. Let's see. We're gonna put. I think we'll put high here. Give me a second. All right, we're gonna do here. All right. So there's gonna be high. High. Actually, you know what? Let me do this prettier, bro. Let me do this prettier. Hold on. Let me. Let's do this nice. All right, hold on. Give me a second. All right, let's go here. We're gonna do high. All right, high risk. All right, cool. Oh, that's a little bit too big. All right, so this is gonna be your high risk column. Let me see if I can actually do a line here. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. All right. I mean, I should probably make this a little bit thicker, but okay. I mean, you guys see the split, right? You guys see the split, and then we'll just we'll do this. We'll put low risk. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, so this is how you would do it. All right, this is how you would do it. So there's a high risk and there's a low risk side. All right. Did you make money? I made a lot of money on Aster. I made over 7 figures on Aster. But high risk and low risk. Okay. The thing with high risk and low risk is this is going to be pretty much dependent on your tolerance on how likelihood you have of making whatever you put in here back again. Okay. What I mean by that is, for example, let's say you have 2 Solana, 5 Solana, 6 Solana. The question then becomes, the first question you need to answer, if I were to lose my 5, if I were to lose my 1, if I were to lose, if I were to lose, let's say, my 10 Solana, am I able to get it back? Somehow. Do I have a job that I'm working at where I can make this money back? Am I just kind of like willing to risk this? Am I not? So that's depending on which category you're going to fall into. Okay. If you fall into the category of let's say I am in the category of I'm in a high risk, then this is the way you're going to do it. If you're in the category where like, you know what, this is like only amount of money I have to play with, and I do not want to mess that up, then you're going to play within the low risk category. Okay. So for this type of kind of just general concept of things, we're gonna say you have 10 soul, which would probably be the equivalent. Let me actually move this here. Oh, I kind of messed it up. Okay, which would probably be the equivalent of. I'm gonna say, let's say it's the equivalent of $1,000. Okay, so as you guys know, these bullets represent 1 Solana. For those of you who have been kind of following me for a long time. Okay, so if we're looking at Solana spaces, we're gonna kind of figure out that, let's say let's say 10 Solana, right? 10 Solana. I know 10 Solana is not $1,000. It's like $2,000, but just like relatively speaking, just to kind of keep it into context, let's say that's 10 Solana. Okay, so you guys are following along. So what you want to do is you want to split these in different scenarios. Okay, you want to split this in different scenarios, because if you don't split this in different scenarios, then you won't be able to understand the concept. Okay, so we're gonna kind of split this in the sense of different terms. All right, and I'm gonna write these down so you guys can get an idea But in the meantime, I'm just gonna put a bunch of bullets here, and then we'll put them where they should go. Okay, so let me just do this real quick. So we'll do this. We'll do this, and we'll do like one more here. All right, so we have this right here. All right, so the way we're gonna split this is there's gonna be 3 different variants, with each different category. Okay, and this is what I like to call RSL. Okay, so RSL, the way RSL works is basically I'll explain it what it is. So we'll put this here. Let's just make sure we put this here. We're gonna call this R. All right, and we're gonna put this down here. Call this S, and oh, did that copy? No. All right. All right, we're gonna call this here L. Okay, so this is pretty much RSL. So R stands for risk. Okay, that is gonna be stuff that you usually I like to, I guess, gamble on, right? Gamble, that stuff that you gamble on, which is pretty much like calls that you're like, I can literally lose it all, right? And then we have S, which stands for short-term plays, and I'll explain what all of these are and how they play out. And then we have long-term plays. Okay, these long-term plays are plays like that are going to last more than 15. Currently, right now, I mean, basically anything that lasts for like more than 5 days is actually a long-term play. But you know, anything that you're kind of looking to cash out like within a month to 2 months to 3 months, and you know your like money's going to sit there and you're going to be there for a while. Okay. The way I'm going to structure this though is we are going to structure this the following way. Okay, so you're gonna bear with me. So once again, let's say you have 10 of these bullets, which is equivalent to let's just say equivalent to $100 each. Okay, $100 on these bullets. So this is where things come out. Now, if you ask me how I made my money doing it the high risk way, which it was like I didn't at that point. Like I didn't need money at that time because I had another type. You know, I have another type of job, so like I could always make the money back, right? And I played in the risky side. The low side is a little bit different because the low side is more of a you know, you just want to make sure you're doing pretty good. See if I see anything that kind of looks interesting before we get really into it. So I am keeping track of this one, this PF one. This is pretty good. I'm not gonna say to buy around here because it's already pretty high, but we are gonna put an alert for this because this could do like this could be a big runner. Okay, I just don't like the entry at 2 mil, so we're gonna put something like around here 1.5. So let me go to before I forget. Okay, I just don't want to forget on this one. Okay, well, let's go here. I'm gonna put 1.6 over here. All right, that way we don't forget. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so this is what's up. Okay, the risk, once again, the short and the long. Okay, and what we want to do here, guys, is we want to make sure we do this pretty easy. Okay, so what is exactly considered a risk play? A risk play is something that you are willing to lose everything, like you don't like you're gonna probably lose. All right. In addition to that, it's something that you're gonna be buying pretty early, like around 20k, 10k, 40k. So anything that's probably not migrated out of pump, and even if it migrated out of pump, you're probably buying it at 40, 30k around there. And it's something that you're looking to like do like a really quick flip on. And that's why I always want to put those categories on like the 50%, right? Let me just kind of move these here real quick just to make some space. Okay. All right. So these are kind of like what I like to call 50% plays. All right. These are like 50% plays that you're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna make a 50%. Okay. You guys are already in PF. Yeah, PFP is pretty good. PFP is pretty good. I kind of just want to keep track on it, what it's doing, but that's actually a pretty good play there. You might want to actually, I think it might do more than 2x. So okay, so that's the risky play. Now for the short-term plays, you're kind of looking for a little bit something more than like a 50%, right? So you're kind of looking like something that could 2x plus here. All right, and for this one, you're looking for 4x plus. Okay, so that's kind of like what you're looking at. All right, so hopefully that kind of makes sense for you guys as far as what type of thing you're looking to do. All right, for the risk play, even though we are saying 50%, ideally, if you're doing this constantly, you're kind of just want to do the 30%, which is you're just doing this over and over and over. But since you're on the risky side of things, we're gonna leave this at 50. Okay, so we're gonna kind of we're gonna move that over here and kind of change it around a little bit. Okay, so you have 10 bullets. What do you do with your 10 bullets? Okay, the first thing you're gonna do with your 10 bullets is, if you're gonna be on the risky side, you're gonna put a lot of bullets on this side. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna do here. You're gonna put 1. You're gonna put 2. Let me see if we have enough space here. Go put 3. All right, let me actually kind of. Let's see. We could probably make this smaller here. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it like this here. All right, that should give us enough space. Okay. So we'll do this. And if you guys have any questions on what I'm talking about, just let me know. Okay, just let me know, and I'll answer them. Right. So I'm gonna go here. We'll kind of slide this a little bit here. Okay. So if you are doing the high risk strategy, you want to have the majority of your bullets on the risky side. Now, the reason why you want to have the majority of the bullets on the risky side is because the risky side is going to give you the most yield for your investment. Okay. Can you move the image to the other side of the screen? Oh, yes. Okay, got it. Yeah. Let me know if that's better. All right, that should do it a little bit better for you, right? All right, that should do pretty better for you. All right, so if you're playing high risk, you want to make sure that you are putting the majority of your bullets on risky plays. Why is the reason behind that? Okay, the reason behind risky plays is the fact that these could actually give you what I like to call a optimal return. What I mean by optimal return is that if you're buying something like at 20K market cap, 30K market cap, the likelihood of that doing a 10x it's relatively possible with 6 tries. Okay, what I mean by that is, like, there's a high chance that you at least will hit 1 bullet. Okay, so let's say, for example, you put 1 bullet in and it rugs. All right, you put in another bullet and it only does 50%. All right, you put in another bullet and it only does a 2x. You put another bullet and it just does like a 30%. And you put another bullet, and for some reason this bullet's actually the one. All right, let's say you bought the PFP or you bought the sombrero, and this starts moving, and you're like, okay, that's gonna hit a 10x. All right, so basically, if you put up, like, if you put 1 soul, since we're kind of just like $100 on a 10x, that's $1,000. So basically, even if you were to lose all these bullets, just 1 bullet will make it back for you with more return. Okay. So that's the reason why we're doing a little bit more riskier plays. We're putting more bullets on, like, if you're in the high risk zone, you're putting more bullets on risk because there's a higher yield of return if you actually hit 1. Okay, theoretically you shouldn't even, like, if you guys are in Bolts Alpha and you look at the percentile of my calls per month, like, the highest clip months that I've had have been like 90% call rate, right? So that means 90% of the calls I made have done a 2x. Okay. That's not counting 10x's, 20x's, 30x's, 40x's. But that means we're losing 10%. On a really bad time, like on a really, really bad month, I'm still roughly like at 70% clip rate. So that means out of 10 bullets, I'm losing 3 bullets, but I'm actually winning on 7 bullets, which theoretically speaking, it's still a really good yield return, right? So on the risky side, that's still pretty good. Now, if you're only risking If you're only doing 50%, so if you're only doing 50% on the risk plays, let's say you 50%, 50%, 50%, you lose a bullet, 50%, and then you lose 2 bullets, you're still making more bullets. So your return rate on 6 bullets will probably be like about 10 bullets equated after you're done. Okay, after you're done trading within the risk area. Okay, so now for short-term plays, what you want to do within short-term plays, you want to allocate. Let me do this here. This is gonna be short-term plays. Now, I'll explain what short-term plays are. Okay. Okay. Short-term plays. So this right here, guys, like this risky part, you do not want to be holding the coin more than like an hour. Okay, like this is literally the risky plays. You're like trading fast, kind of like Ernie. Ernie would be like the best example for this. Ernie does a lot of risky plays, but he like flips really fast, right? He holds for like 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then he's out. Okay, and then he just makes his back, and then he's on to another play, and then he's on to another play, right? I do this too as well whenever I'm trying to get more Solana. You know, really fast trades. So the fastest way to actually get trades is just kind of flip. Okay, because the least thing you want to do is have your money stuck. Okay, that's the biggest problem. A lot of people fall under this problem, and I actually fell under this problem when I started trading. Is I looked at a play and I'm like, I'm gonna hold this bag, and then holding that bag is like, okay, my money's stuck. I'm not doing nothing with my money. It's there. It's been sitting there for 10 days. It's going on 20 days. It's going on 30 days. I'm not able to catch any play because my money's stuck. Okay, so that's the thing you want to avoid. And that's why we're dividing it this way, so you guys can get a better idea. Okay, so on the short-term plays, all right, in the short-term plays, you want to put 3 bullets. 3 bullets. Now, what are short-term plays? So, like, if I go here, for example, this PFP one, okay, this would be like a short-term play. But like, let's say you caught this early, you caught this at 200, 300K. This is pretty much you're in this play for like at least you know, something between 4 to 24 hours. Okay. If I look at this sombrero play here, where's the sombrero here? If I go to sombrero, well, where's sombrero? I had it too. Let me just keep going back. Yeah, here it is. If I go to the sombrero play, like if I look at this one, this is it's at 4 million right now. I knew this coin was gonna blow up too, man. If I look at this, look, dude, from the time we were looking at it, pretty crazy. This started on October the 1st. It is now October the 2nd, and it's almost been 24 hours. Okay, so if you notice the whole time on this, even if you were to have bought here at 600, or you bought somewhere here like at 1.4 mil or 9 mil, you know, you're holding for a long period of time, because that length of hold is more than the amount of hours you guys are wanting to hold. Okay, so if you notice right here, we have a longer period of time. All right, so you need to determine which plays are this fall under which category as fast as you possibly can, because if you're not able to determine that, then you're going to probably be exiting out of these plays really fast. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have. And a lot of people ask me, right? It's like, how do you know a coin's going to go up? Right? How do you know a coin's going to go up? All right? See, literally, that's literally what we just actually asked, right? How do you know? It's very difficult for me to answer this question, because when I answer the question, people are like, bro, are you kidding me? Look, it is a God-given talent that I have, that I am able to see a coin at 20K market cap, and I can literally tell you that coin's gonna hit 2. Like, you could ask in the Boltz Alpha, like whenever we're sitting in the Boltz Alpha, right? People ask me like, how high do you think this coin's gonna go? I say it, and the coin does it, right? So it's like, it's not me, guys. It's just like, I'm kind of just a vessel, and I'm just doing whatever God tells me. Like, you know, this. I mean, you know, it's not like God's whispering in my ear or anything like that. But I look at a coin, and the coin actually does pretty well, right? I pray before I get out and start trading. So it's like, you know, that's the coin's going up, right? I can't really do nothing. So that's kind of like what I'm like, the answer to that particular question. A lot of people don't like that answer, but it is what it is. That's what kind of separates me from everybody else, and that's why people call me the alpha before the alpha, because people know, like, whenever I mention a coin and I say, like, I have a thesis for the coin and the coin will go up, and we do pretty well. So for example, the sombrero one, where is it at? The sombrero one, I kind of already knew it was gonna do this. It was just a viewer into play, right? Um, and that's kind of like where we're at. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so Ty says, can you give us a list of the core solid swing trade coins, the low risk ones? So I don't know. I don't understand that question in the sense of like, you mean like what coin's gonna go up? Like I don't understand. Like if you could expand that just a little bit. Um, and then lastly but not least, guys, you have the long-term plays. Okay, long-term plays. These are coins that are gonna take a while to mature. Okay, the best example I could give you for this one is if we go and take a look at a dupe, for example. You guys know I've been telling you guys for a long time. If I go here to dupe, got in Sombrero at 44k, exit at 140. Oh, that's not actually a pretty bad exit, but you sure probably like Sombrero is gonna run up. It's gonna do some crazy numbers. But you kind of exit a little bit too early in that, unless you left the moon back. All right, it's super important. So for example, for dupe, as you guys know, I've been mentioning this for a very, very long time, ever since back here, guys. All right, so ever since April, what's this, April? No, when did this come out? This came out on April, pretty much May. I bought this in May, and now we are all the way in October. And theoretically, I've been mentioning this coin over and over and over. Kind of been telling you guys here at 4. It kind of already 4x from the time we actually called it. So this is what I would consider a long-term hold, which you're holding a coin for roughly over a month, 2, 3, 4 months, which is kind of like what I love doing with a lot of coins. Like for example, Useless is another perfect example of this one. I held this coin since it released. We actually caught this one on stream. Since this one actually came out, I held this coin, and I'm still holding this coin. And this one came out on May, and now we're all the way in October, and we're still holding. Now, holding doesn't mean I haven't taken out profit. Okay, holding does not mean I haven't taken profit. What holding means is that I still hold a bag on it. Okay, I still hold a bag on it. So that's kind of like where it's at. So if you guys, if that answers your question about the high risk, if you have any questions, let me know, and then we'll move on to another one. We'll move on to the other side, but that's kind of like what we're looking at when it comes to trading. I'll look at Mantel right now, what it is right now. Solana, listed up mantlets. Let me look at the chart here. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait to see for these. I think this one right here looks like it might be a volume bot. Yeah. So like, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what's gonna happen with this coin. Okay. I see this volume bot 7%. This might go to 300 or 500. I can drop. So this probably will hit 300 and drop, or hit 500 and drop. Right. We'll come back and look at it, but that's basically what. Just by looking at the volume bot, I already know that's what it's gonna do. Okay. We'll come back to that one. So nothing really is coming out right now. But let's see. Yeah, we don't have nothing special right now. All right. And I'll explain why I'm able to identify, like, if we have something special, we don't have nothing special, right? So the question for Chevy guy, he says, is Lowe's a long-term my moon? So do you already, I mean, if you're asking me about this coin, that means you bought it when we called it here, right? Which was like around 500 or 300k. Here it is. Okay. So this one, I believe, ran up to 3 mil. Let me put this in the short term here. Yeah. So it ran up to 3 mil. Like we actually caught it, like, it was like somewhere around here, like 342 if I remember correctly. So this one up to, that's already a 10x. Okay, so what happens with the with this one is, if you already 10x this, right? You already 10x this. What I would do is I would be like, okay, let's do a pull up a little bit of money. And what I'm gonna tell you guys what I do. Okay, so If I know, like for example, this coin has a really high potential of hitting at least 8 to 10 mil. That's my kind of thesis. But what I also want to get my money. All right, I also want to. I'm not gonna like diamond hold this from here to all the way here. So what I do is if I 10x, I take out a percent. Now, the percent is always based on how high I think a coin's gonna go. So for example, if I think the coin hasn't topped, which means like top means is like how high I think the coin might get, what I end up doing is I will go ahead and say, you know, I'm gonna take out very little bit of a percentile because I want to keep as many tokens that I can whenever the coin goes up higher. So my conviction, which one? My conviction is based on the certainty of how high the coin's gonna go. Okay, so if I have a really high conviction, like for example, if I use useless as an example, useless. Okay, if I use useless as an example, when I saw this coin, my first thesis was that the coin was gonna hit 100 mil. Okay, that was like my first thesis. So I was like, I'm gonna hold this for a very long time. When the coin 20x for me, I took out 10%, which is very little, but it was just getting my money back. You know, it was at that point I was like, okay, I just want to get whatever money I put in here. I want to get it back. And I took that out. I'm still holding 90% because I think the coin's not done yet. All right. So that is the thesis within that coin. And I do that with every single coin. For example, dupe, I did the same thing. I took my money back, but I just want to make sure I have a big allocation. Now, if I have a really, really high conviction on a coin and the coin actually dips, like, you know, we had this dip here from conception down to like, I think it was like 4 to 8 mil. If I look at that, I would buy back more. I buy back more, right? It's like I want to have a big percentile of a coin whenever a coin does pretty good, right? So I hope that answers your question. So that's gonna be kind of like the high risk, high risk side, okay? And then now we're gonna go to the low risk, which is kind of like I think a majority of you guys are kind of falling into, right? A lot of you guys are within the within the risk category. Okay, so if I go here, we're gonna move this here. All right, we're gonna scroll this here. All right, and we're just kind of, I'll move these over. All right, we'll move these over here. Move these over here. All right, let's move this guy over. Okay, so whenever you are a trader and you're trying to build a bag, but just a quick thing for these guys, you always want to leave a moon bag. Okay, and for all these, moon bags are super duper important. Right, moon bags are super duper important. Like moon bags are gonna save your life. Okay, so trust me, moon bags. For all of this, you want to leave a moon bag. All right, anything on the SNL, moon bags are the most crucial thing that are gonna save your life. Okay. All right, so the thing here on the low risk side, it's gonna work a little bit different. Okay, it's gonna work a little bit different because you're gonna be playing just to build a bag. Your number one priority when you're like in a low risk trader is that you want to make sure that you trade often, but you want to make sure you're constantly in profit over and over and over again. That's kind of like your main thing. And you're gonna kind of do this differently than you would because you can't risk that much. Okay, you can't risk that much, and the reason you can't risk that much is because you're afraid of actually losing it. Okay, so that's kind of like the main thing here you want to do. Let me move these over here. All right. So this is the way you want to do this one. Okay, this one works a little bit different. You want to kind of de-risk as much as you possibly can. And you want to make sure that you keep a couple bullets as you can, right? So this is going to be kind of dependent on how much money you have. This is kind of just a scenario that every bullet's $100. So you kind of break that down. Like if you have, if you have 1 Solana, you basically break that into 0.5. If you have less than 1 Solana, you could break that in 0.3. If you have 2 Solana, you could break that in 2.5 per bullet. You know, it's just going to be dependent on how much money you have for that one. And you guys are just going to have to figure that out. On your risk tolerance, just go over this and manage it. Basically, this is kind of like a percentile of 60, 30, 20, right? So you kind of get that idea of how you would break that down if you were doing this differently. Okay. So if you're on the low risk side, you want to make sure that you have the opportunity to make money, but you also want to make sure you have the opportunity to, if you lose the money, you're able to make it back. Okay, that's the main thing. You want to make sure you have the opportunity to make it back, and the way you do that is by de-risking. Okay, so when we talk about de-risking, is that we want to make sure we kind of allocate plays more accordingly to what they should be. Okay, so the way I would do this is I would do this very, very simple. Okay, so first and foremost, we're gonna grab a bullet. Let's see, we put it right here. It's gonna give us 1 here, and we'll put 2. Oh, did that copy? No. Okay. We'll put 3. Okay. Okay. So for the risk side of things here, we're gonna put more on the risk side. We're gonna put 4 bullets. Okay, and that is the equivalent to whatever. Sorry, 3 bullets. That's the equivalent of the risk you're gonna be taking. So one important thing is you want to keep in mind is that the risk bullet part is going to be dependent on daily trading. So these are going to be gamble plays. So the gamble plays are plays that you're like, okay, I'm just in and out. I'm just in and out. I'm just in and out. So for example, right, like if I were to come here, like for example, this Manlake coin that we're looking at right here, right? I already know this coin will probably not reach 500. Like that's kind of like what I said, and that's kind of like what happened. So if I had bought this coin, like let's say I bought it like right here, like once the spike goes to 30% or 50%, I'm selling them out. I'm forgetting about this coin. I'm not looking at this coin ever again. Okay, I might look at it again if it goes to $1 million, and then I gotta reevaluate what I'm doing. But basically, that is what falls under this category. These are risk plays. Or if I'm looking on this side and I'm like, okay, let me see what's actually moving. Let me put this to hyper, and let me say, okay, let's randomly pick a coin here. Let's say this one right here, Shinobi, and I'm like, oh, that's a cute little guy, right? So like, okay, I bought here at 40, it goes to 60. Okay, I'm out onto the next one, and I'm moving over and over and over, and I'm like, okay, I'm not staying in that play or this grouper play. Let's say I look at this. Okay, this has a good amount of volume. I'm buying it. Okay, bought at 40 here. I'm gonna wait to hit 60 or 70. Boom, I'm out onto the next play, and that is basically how you want to rotate these. Because look right here, like I'm telling you about this coin, like I would have bought here, that would have been like about 25 to 30%. I sell the coin, I'm out onto the next one, and those are pretty much my bullets because I'm just doing 30% on these bullets. Yes, granted, it's going to take me longer to make more bullets, but it's just I'm not there to make a long trade. I'm there to make as much money as I possibly can during that day. So if you are looking at the coin, you're going to do pretty good. All right, so Quick Saver Blast says, what's a good entry for Sombrero? So look, this is a perfect example of what I told you guys. This grouper coin, buy here, sell here, I'm out onto the next one. All right. Let's see, Sombrero. Yeah, I like Sombrero a lot, to be honest. The thing with Sombrero is this. Look, I personally feel this is kind of like the police coin. So if this does something similar to what the police coin does, the police coin I believe ran up to 25 mil. So what I'm expecting this to do, and I mean I could be a profit, I don't know, but this goes to 5 mil. It'll come down to 3.5 around here, and then we should see it hit like 8. Okay, that's kind of like the thesis on this play. Like, would I buy this at 3 mil? Like, I would have to buy with size, like, right? So I would be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna buy. Let's say I'm like just for video purposes. Okay, I'm gonna buy 0.5 here. Okay, now I know the grouper one's mooning, right? Yeah, the grouper one. Yeah, like I'm so on point. Like I'm telling you. Like yeah. I touch it and it goes up, bro. Like my Sombrero one. It's like look at this. I could have literally made a lot of money on this. Look. See grouper? You see that? All right. So it's like I look at the coin and the coin is like, okay, cool. The coin does what it does. It is what it is. But let me see. I didn't even see what it was. But that's just how I trade, right? Okay, Nick Fuentes posted grouper. Okay, well. Yes. See what I mean though, guys? Like I'm telling you, like the thing is that's just how I like that's how God is, right? Like I look at the coin and it's like, okay, I think this might do pretty good. The thing is, these people don't even have a Let's see. It's just so funny, bro. It's just so funny. Oh man, like I should have bought it, right, for video purposes. I should have bought it, but I didn't. But this is one that we want to keep an eye on. Well, I'll probably put 0.1 just for giggles. All right. Let's see here. Sombrero. Okay, Sombrero's actually doing pretty solid. Let's see what it does here. Okay. Okay. We'll see if it does this. I think it hits like 8. Did it buy me in? Oh, that's right. This is on USD. That's why it's not showing that it bought me in. Okay. Anyways, we'll come back to that one. But Grouper looks interesting, guys. It's something we want to maybe kaboom on. We probably kaboomed a little bit too late here, but it came down to 125. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. So like I'm gonna say 80. Ah, no! It bought, bro, it bought me back in too low. I kind of wanted to get that dip. Ah, I wanted a dip. I like Gooper, dude. Not gonna lie. Oh, we'll put a buy limit here, just in case it goes down. Because I'm teaching right now, and then when I'm teaching, bro, I kind of like this a lot. There we go. No, I'm in the wrong one. No, bye. Bro. Don't do me like that. Come on. 185. Okay, we'll leave it right there. We'll come back to Grouper in a little bit, right? But anyways. So, we're back to this part right here, right? So, like you guys saw right there, I can literally have bought Grouper like before it even went to, before it even migrated, okay? But anyways. Back to this one, right? Okay, PFP actually came down. Let me see the PFP. Hold on, guys. I keep constantly going back and forth here. No, that wasn't even a quick 2x. That was like we got that at 40k. Yeah. For example, PFP came down to 2 mil. We're gonna set. No, it didn't come down to where I wanted it. Let me put an alert for. Oh yeah, it did come down. All right. Let's do one for 1.5 here. Let's set up another one here. Oh, goes under. Alright, here we go. Okay. That's here. Okay. Anyways, back to this one here. PFP looks pretty strong. So this is what we have, right? Risk. Okay, so we were back on the. Sorry guys, I kind of got sidetracked a little bit for buying stuff. Okay, so the yeah, so many coins are going up. It's like crazy, dude. It's like, so that one did put me in. I'm down on Grouper, 44%. Okay, this actually, I'm gonna come by a little bit here more. All right, cool, we're good. All right, that's enough buying for Grouper for right now. All right, we'll see. I'll put a sell limit here in case I get rinsed here. We'll see what's up. 40. No, let's do 30. 30. We'll see what's up. I think it's getting rinsed by. Yeah, so we lost one cell, so we need 2 more cells. We'll see what happens with Grouper. We'll see what comes bounces back. Okay. Anyways, we're back here. Okay, we're back here. Anyways, so right now, Profit. What is the question, brother? Is Elon done with no flicks? Profit. Third attempt to check no. Sorry, brother. I was kind of like we were sidetracking. No flicks. Let me go here. No flicks. So this is the thing with no flicks. Look, I'm kind of explaining this on no flicks, okay? So I think the messaging on no flicks is good, okay? I think the narrative is amazing. The support is awesome. The problem with no flicks is the fact that there is absolutely no KOL that bought this. Actually, I think there was one, and then it went up and then they sold. But there is no one really backing it up. I think it falls down to the fact that they don't have early allocation. Now, what I mean by early allocation is they didn't buy early enough for them to push the coin up. Okay, so the narrative is there. Elon keeps tweeting about it. Doge Designer keeps tweeting about it, but the problem is there's just not enough hype, not on the Elon part of things, and not on the Elon part of things, and not on the Doge designer part of things, but there's just not enough hype on CT from like KOLs. That's the problem with NoFlix. So theoretically, you should have gotten a 10x, 5x, 4x. I think ideally, if it falls below this 50k mark, I think it's pretty much gonna die off. Okay, just because, not because the coin isn't good, just because there's so many other coins that are actually doing pretty well. Like we have the Sombrero one, we have the PFP one. I think this grouper one would probably do pretty good. It kind of looks like it kind of got a nice little bounce back here, and there's gonna be pretty good coins that are gonna have a good traction, that are gonna perform decent enough to be able to let's go here. How much did I put in here? Okay. That are gonna do pretty decent. Okay, so that's kind of like where you're at. I hope that answers your question, Prophet. I just didn't see you, brother. But anyways, back to this, because I do want to cover this before we get over, because I know a lot of you guys had this question. Okay, I kind of just want to make sure I get it done with. Okay, so with that being said, we want to make sure that you have bullets in risk, but not where you're over risking yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, you want to make sure you have enough allocation there. I was about to NoFlix too, if it's a good buy zone or not. No, so I wouldn't buy more. Like if you already made your profit, I would just stay with like whatever moonback you have. If it comes below 250, just cash out and then move on to the next one. Like I mean, I gave you a couple ones. For example, Sombrero looks pretty good. The PFP one looks pretty good. What entry did you get in Sombrero? I kind of want to. It kind of went to the toilet. Sombrero? Huh? Let me go here. I think I got in like 3 mil or something. I don't see it in the toilet, bro. It's at 4 mil. Like I don't know what you mean. Are you in the right one or the wrong one, bro? Are you in the 4 mil one, or are you in the not 4 mil one? I have no idea. No, I have no idea what coin you're in, brother. He went to the I have no idea. Oh, I got it. I misread that, bro. Oh, got it, bro. I misread that one. Got you, fam. I got you. Nah. It was like around 3 mil. It was around 3 mil. I actually bought it before the 3 mil though. I bought it. I think I bought it like at 1.3 on another wallet. But I think it'll do pretty good here. So Ty says, would you consider dropping the Bolt's Discord price? You a millionaire already, bro. Help you stack like you. So Ty, let me ask you a question, right? So let me ask you a very, very simple question. So if someone were to come up to you, right? If someone were to come up to you and tell you, give me $100 and I'm gonna give you $1,000. Okay? What would you say to them? I really genuinely want to know the answer to that question. Would you give the $100? Yeah, see, that's the type of thing that you need to ask yourself, right? Honestly, in general, I'd give you $500. Okay, it's basically that should answer your question, all right? If you think the price is too high, then you don't want to make the $1,000. It's not my fault you don't want to make the $1,000, bro. You know, so it's like I can't really help people who don't want to be helped. And usually what tends to happen is this, okay? And I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way, but usually people who are not willing to spend money to make money end up not making money. It's just how life is, okay? Unfortunately, Not a lot of people have enough faith in themselves, and that's the biggest problem. And that's what I'm trying to correct. Okay, I'm trying to correct the simple fact that you need to believe in yourself so much that you understand this simple concept. All right, if you pay $100, I believe in myself so much that I can make $1,000 because it's not really up to me. Okay, because I can't make you buy, I can't make you sell. Okay, but if you are someone that wants to make it in this game, it's actually, to be quite frankly honest with you, it's actually pretty cheap. It's not even a Solana. Okay, so it's actually undervalued. So that's the crazy part about it. So the question should be like, should you raise you should probably be raising your prices, but I'm not. I want to make sure I'm inclusive. I want to let everybody in. So that's the biggest thing. Now, if you feel that's too much for you, that's why you have the TG. That's why you have my X. I still call calls there. Appreciate it, Wheels. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's a lot. Like, dude, there's so many other ones that charge like $500. There's even one that charges $1,000. So I mean, like, bro, come on now. So just think about it that way, right? So if I put $1,000 in, if I put $100 or 150, whatever it is that I'm gonna put in, and I make 1,000, bro, that's like a no-brainer to me. Like, it is what it is. But that's what's up. Awesome, man. Well, glad you were there with $40. Hopefully, we see you there again, brother. And you're able to print. Okay, back to this whole concept. Okay, so the thing here is, your risk management is based on how much you allocate. So, for example, you put 3 bullets in the risky zone. If you lose all 3 bullets, you're gonna be perfectly fine, because what's gonna save you actually is the fact that you will have more bullets on the S side of things. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do that as much as you possibly can, because the short-term plays are the ones that are going to actually save you. Okay, and that is kind of like where you want to allocate the majority of the bullets. Now, granted, these S ones don't actually fall every day or every hour. These are more like, we get one, for example, right? This like perfect example would probably be this like sombrero coin here. Like, this coin came out yesterday. It's been 24 hours. It's doing its thing. Okay, so this type of coin does not come out every day, but it does come up most of the time when we have really good volume. It does come out every single day. For example, you see the sombrero one came out today. If we look at the PFP one, which is this one, all right, PFP, this one came out today as well. So that's 1 coin per day. Let's just say 1 coin per day on a really good volume time day. All right, 1 coin per day. So this one's, you just pretty much want to have your bullets allocated for that time, and you can kind of tweak this around. Like, if you want to play a little bit more risky, you probably go here. But ideally, you want to have the majority of the bullets on these, because that's where you're going to be making the majority of the money. Okay, so the way you would split this here is you would do that. You would do this the following way. So you put 3 bullets here, okay, and then you would come here, and then you put some here. Hold on, let's go here. All right. Okay. Okay, got you. All right, so that's kind of where you want to do it. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of how you want to do it. It's done. That's kind of how you want to do it. Okay, you want to break it down that way. You want to make sure that you coincide and you do this the following way. So you want to make sure you have more bullets on the risky side. You have the majority of your bullets are going to be on the short-term side, because these are going to be plays that you're like 1 hour, 5 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Okay, and that's where you want. Now, on the long-term plays, this is where you kind of become a little bit more bullish on these, because these are bullets that you're going to have for a longer period of time. Now, this is a little bit more of a low risk, but a lot of people don't like to play this way because it just takes too long for you to build your port. And that's the biggest problem, right? You got to understand that if you guys are in the concept of growing your money fast and doing it over and over and over, you're gonna have to figure out where you guys fall into that category. Okay, you want to figure out where you fall into that category, because this is going to pretty much determine your overall aspect of where you fall in what category. Okay, because if you want to be in the high risk category, you're going to be like, bro, that's it, I'm in it. Okay, if you want to be in the low risk category, you're going to be in that one. But that's going to groupers moving. I'm telling you, man, what can I do? What can I do? Let me go see. Oh yeah, we're moving on a grouper. Let's go, grouper. Let's go, baby. That's how we do it, right? That's how we do it. I mean, I'll call it on the TG. I should have called it earlier, but we did call it here though. So I mean, yeah. I'm gonna put it on the TG here. Well, I mean, on Discord, everybody that's on Discord is probably watching this, so we'll see what's up. Yeah. We'll call it TG here. And then we'll put it like right here, bro. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I go here real quick. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, let's go copy this. People know who this. Okay. Let me go here. Let's go here. Where's this at, bro? Give me a second, guys. All right, cool. All right. With that being said, that's what's up. So we'll keep an eye on Grouper. But anyways, that's kind of like you want to go. Now, does anybody have any questions regarding this? Does anybody have any questions regarding it? Okay, let me know. We flying on Grouper, boys. We flying. Like, should we? I think we do it. Grouper. But yeah, that's what's up, man. So, does anybody have any questions? Let me know if you have any questions. I want to stack enough to join, but only 2 streams a week. I just follow the TG calls. Yeah, so basically, listen, TG. I would love to stream more often, right? I would love to definitely stream more often. I would love to kind of share with you guys a little bit more. It's just I have a big commitment to other people who actually pay a lot for my time, and usually what tends to happen is, of course, I want more people to print. I want people more to make it. But sometimes you just gotta go with your gut feeling. And like my main thing is making sure you believe in yourself. Okay, that's my main thing. Like if you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna make it into space. All right, you gotta constantly get up and say, "Yo, I could do this. I could do this." And it doesn't matter the amount of soul I have. I know I could always either make it back or double it or triple it, 10x it. Because the plays are always out. Even like we had a really bad month on September. You guys saw how bad September was, right? You guys saw September was pretty bad. And it just pretty much, that was September then, but you just want to make sure you're like, okay, cool. I'm in a good position where I think this actually does pretty solid. Okay, so that's kind of like where you want to be as far as training is concerned and all that good jazz. All right? Does anybody have a question? If you have a question, let me know. We'll be more than happy to answer that question, and so we could get it going on here. Grouper's just flying, guys. Like, I mean, what can we do, bro? What can we do with Grouper? Send Grouper higher. All right. September. Yeah, September was pretty bad, man. September was pretty bad. But Grouper's flying, man. We caught this at 40K, nonetheless. But bro, it is what it is. I want to know how you value coins. For example, Grouper, what market cap do you think it reaches? Okay, so look, so this is how I value coins. Like I saw Grouper at 40K and I knew it was gonna do well. Okay, it's very hard for me to say how I know that, because I always reference God on whenever I make a call or whenever I look at a coin. I think to myself, and I was like, I think this coin's gonna do pretty awesome. Okay. The reason I like Grouper is because I saw the PFP and I was like, okay, it's a frog. Pretty much reference to, you know, like Pepe, a little bit of a reference to what's going on with the PFP, and I'm like, it ties in together. Did a little bit of research. It was like very, very quick research. I saw Nick Fuentes mentioned it, so I saw, you know, I saw him post it, and then I went and looked at the volume. I looked at the, you know, the bubble map to kind of figure out if it was gonna dump. I kind of had a feeling it was gonna touch below 100K, and then we were able to kind of make that assessment and be like, okay, cool, now we're cool. So like, look, for a quick example here, like this is where if you're on high risk, you literally hold this coin right till you get like a 3x. If you're in the low risk category, this is where you would take out, like, let's say you would take out 60% of your allocation. And I'm just going to do this for video purposes. So I would take out 60. Well, I'll have to wait for it to come back here to 100 here. But this is where you would take out 60% and then just leave the rest right. Like, for example, let's wait for this to turn green here. You would go like that, right? You would sell your allocation there. You get back what you put in. Okay. You get back what you put in. So you go to the P&L here. All right, I put in 138. I got out 143, so I made a little bit of profit, $5. It's not that much, but this puts me in a position where, like, I really don't have to worry. I really don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so it's super important that you play like this. So depending on which category you fall in, so if you're either in the high risk category or if you're in the low risk category, you always want to make sure you play this accordingly to each category. And that's why I explain and I make it super clear that it's super important that you understand one simple rule. You got to follow the rules. All right, you got to follow the own rules that you set. You got to follow them, because if you don't follow the rules, you're going to be caught off guard. Okay, if you don't follow the rules, you're going to be put in a very bad position where you're like, crap, I lost, I round tripped, you know, that coin didn't do what it was supposed to do. And that's super important. Like, I saw Grouper at 40K and I was like, yo, it is going to do pretty well. And you saw it's at 240, right? Yeah, I mean, if it hits 400K, that's a 10x. That's a 10x, and that's under this category of the R. And then once you are in the R category, you trade more R category coins, you're going to become more accustomed to know they're going to convert. Basically, this is the way it works, right? It starts as an R, then it turns into an S, and then it turns to an L. Now, my theory and the way what I like to teach people and what I like people to learn is that people need to understand that what makes me the alpha before the alpha is that I'm always buying under the R category, knowingly that it's going to turn into an L, and I'll let you know if it's going to turn to an L. Like, if you're in the Bolts Alpha, that's the advantage of the Bolts Alpha, right? Like, on the Bolts Alpha, you can literally ask me a question and be like, dude, what do you think about this coin? Do you think it's going to go higher? Kind of like what we talked about Sombrero. Like, if I pull up what we were talking about Sombrero, I knew the coin was going to pull up, please. I actually could, I don't know where it's at, but I'll pull up the text, and you should be good. Gigi, what does RSL stands for? You can literally like rewind the stream and kind of get the info right there, right? Is it 100 for the Discord? No, it's I believe it's based on Solana, so it's whatever the Solana equivalent is, or if you are sorry, if you're already on YouTube. It's if you go to the tier 2 option, which is Bolts Alpha, you'll be able to get it, or you could just get it from the Discord. But that's basically what it is. So I hope this makes sense to you. And this is one of the biggest questions I get asked the most. So I kind of wanted to address it and kind of present it in a way where you guys could actually visually see it and understand it itself. So do you have any questions about this one in particular? Let me know, because I really want to make sure we answer those questions as quickly as we possibly can to address that question, right? So if you do have any questions regarding the category, let me know. And I hope Koba, I hope that answered your question too as well. And the other people that had the had the main question of how do I go about protecting my port and where should I fall under what category? That's the thing, Sack says, because sometimes I can't tell a coin's going higher, but I don't know how much higher. That's what we have the Bolts Alpha for. That's the reason we created it. So you could ask these questions whenever you have these questions on a coin that you buy. you could simply go there and we'll, you know, when I'm on or when I have time, I'll definitely address that question for you guys. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. But if you have any questions regarding this, I want to know. I just want to make sure we address it before we start looking for more other coins. If you are watching the stream, make sure you guys hit that like because it does help us out a lot. Make sure you guys, your peoples, because no one's teaching this, right? So no one else is teaching you exactly how to do it, and pretty much how to trade smartly. Okay. Bet if I stack enough bread, you definitely will stack a lot of bread, man. I appreciate. I'm pretty sure you will, man. All right, so that's kind of like the way you would do it. Okay. Talking about other coins that are doing pretty decent. I did want to know. I think Sombrero is like about this one. I'm kind of watching. I kind of wanted to dip a little bit more before we do any sort of play. Let's go. We got a bunch of emotes. I love them. Let's go Sombrero. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. So Sombrero is at 4.5. Yeah, we're beautiful. Like, look at this big green candle. Amazing. Alpha, do you only do soul memes or do you do any other chain? So this is the thing. Right now, I'm gonna give you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit of alpha. Okay. The biggest alpha you could do, the biggest alpha you could do for this is instead of going to another chain, right? Instead of you going and say, okay, I'm gonna go trade in BNB, I'm gonna go trade on ETH. You should go to a different type of market. I'll explain it right now a little bit. We're gonna be doing a little bit more streaming on that, and then we're also gonna be doing more like plays within the Bolts Alpha on this particular meta. But the only other coins I've traded is ETH coins, Ethereum, and Bates. Usually, I did. Not gonna lie, I fell under the trap that everybody was like Tron. That was last year. I don't know if you were trading last year, but everybody was like, oh my goodness, Tron, right? And so it's like I think I moved over like $6,000 to Tron and or ton, and I keep calling it Tron ton. I moved it over, and to be honest, I lost half of it. Okay, I lost half of it because I was like I'm just gonna buy this. I'm gonna let it sit. I bought a coin called Sundog, and that did pretty good. But I'm gonna be completely honest. I wasn't even tracking it. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it there for like 3 to 6 months, and the coin went up, and I never sold, and then it just kind of went down. The base coin, the only base coin I own, I actually own two base coins. I own Brett and I own Toshi. Those are the only two that I own. I do own some Sui coins. I already made money on that. I kind of, took out my money and just have a bag on those. But that's pretty much it. I just really don't trade another chain. I think in particular, Solana still has a long way to go, in my opinion. I think meme coins are kind of just like a little concept that's going to onboard a bigger layer on that, which is pretty much ICM. And I've been kind of talking about a lot about ICM since it first ever came to fruition. And people just don't quite grasp it. If you need me to explain it to you guys, I'm more than happy to explain it to you guys. But I personally feel that this is what's going to happen. Okay, so right now we are in a meme culture, all right? And the meme coins, their span of the amount of money they're able to kind of bring into the ecosystem is. I'll explain. Let me explain it here. Let's do. Yeah, 40K girl burn. All right, let me move this here. Hold on, I got you guys here. Let me explain it to you guys. All right, here. All right, so. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me go to uploads. Let's bring in this here and bring this one here. Okay, cool. All right, look. So. And then we'll put here, okay? Yo, can you send me Ernie's P&L, bro, please? Thanks. All right. So this is what I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my boy Ernie's in the chat, but I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how exactly this works. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right, look. And this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of the way you need to be trading. Okay. And I'm not saying this works for everybody because Ernie's really disciplined. Okay. A lot of people aren't that disciplined. A lot of people are like, they'll hold it and they'll be like, okay, crap, you know, like, and this is the advantage of Bolts Alpha. You pretty much get these plays every day, right? So it's like, um, where's this at? Hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, okay. Did that transfer over? Oh, that one didn't transfer over, right? Yeah, there. Yeah, I got it. Okay, look, this is my boy Ernie. All right, so literally, look at this. No, I don't know. Ernie, are you in the chat? Are you in the chat? What was the span on this, bro? Like this was less than like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so look, Ernie put in $500. Okay, Ernie put $500, and he made $2,000. Okay, easy. All right, he's not on, okay, he's not on the chat, but he's on Discord. All right, so 500 to 2,000. I mean, that's not counting the money he made back, because he made the money. He made his, he made his initial investment back. Okay, so that is basically what we're doing. All right, so you kind of want to make sure that you're constantly trading, and you're trading very, very well, because everything is super doable. But you got to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you're gonna round trip. You're gonna risk the self, right? So you just kind of want to make sure you're in profit. You're in profit the majority of the time, every time you're trading. What you need? What you need? The links? I got you here. Are you gonna tweet about it? Yeah, you got it. I'll link to it. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what's up. So let me explain this to you guys so you guys can understand. Okay, so look, this part that I'm gonna explain to you guys, it's super important that you understand this, because this is like the future. I'm giving you guys like free alpha, that you probably won't get. Okay, this is what's up. Okay, so there are two things that are gonna happen. All right, there are two things that happen. This is what's gonna happen. We are gonna transition into two major platforms. Okay, the first platform, we'll just get it out of the way. Just to mention it real quick. Let's do. This is called Polymark. Okay, this right here is the future. Okay, I'm already trading in this. I've already made pretty good. I've done pretty good on this. I'll explain how it works, and how you could kind of do very well doing this. But this is the future. Okay, this is kind of like meme coin 2.0 type of play. Okay, I'll explain this later. If you're more interested on this, we will do a lot of stuff here in the Bolts Alpha about this. I just want people to kind of get used to it, start trading it. We'll probably have a stream where we just kind of just do this, and we trade meme coins as well. But this is super duper important that you keep an eye on. So this is gonna be like transition number one. That's the alpha that you want to know. You just want to make sure you get used to this. Apart from that, we have this. Okay, and it's super important that you pay attention to this, because this is the transition of what's going to change in the meme coin space. Now, everybody wants Solana to reach $300, to reach $400, to reach $500. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Trading meme coins is not going to get Solana to reach that amount, okay? Because meme coins are super volatile. They're not long-term holds. And in addition to that, the people that are trading it, which is me and you, and everybody that's in the trenches every single day, eventually we're either going to run out of money, or we're just going to stop trading. And there's absolutely no other way to kind of migrate people into the ecosystem of trading meme coins. So right now, the biggest problem that we have, let me see if I could actually put this human. Yeah, give me a second. What about it? I sent you the wrong one? Okay, give me a second. I think I put that on TG. Good. All right, hold on. Trying to, let's add this little human here. Oh, but it's gonna come out dark. Okay, hold on. Not gonna work. I'm trying to add. Let's add these little kids here. Okay, cool. Okay, where did my meme coin one go? Hold on. What happened? Which one? Grouper? Grouper. All right, I'll go check out Grouper right now. I got you, bro. Give me a second. Let me reload here. Hold on. Did I post the wrong one here? No way. Let's see, where are you at? Give me a second, guys. I'm having a little bit of so that's that. Are you sure? That's that one. And hit the code. Okay. Anyways, yeah, Grouper's flying, guys. Like Grouper's flying. Kind of had an idea it was gonna fly, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we're good. Anyways, back to what I was talking. Sorry, guys. I keep getting sidetracked. Okay, we're gonna say that these are us. This is us training. This is us training meme coins. Okay. PFP is actually moving up too. Like everything. Look, like I don't know. How, like, does anybody read the Bible? If anybody reads the Bible, all right, you guys know the story of like Joseph, right? So every time Joseph touched something, like it actually flourished, right? That's kind of like what I feel like I'm doing, right? Like I see Grouper does that, right? I go to Sombrero does that. I look at PFP, it does this. Like, so it's like, I don't know, man. All I can say is blessed be the Lord and thank you, Lord, for giving me the talent. That's all I can say. But that's where we're at right now. All right. You gave me a good eye. I spotted PFP instantly. Awesome, Jaden. Awesome. Okay. So this is what we have. Okay. So right now, everybody's trading meme coins. Okay. Everybody's trading meme coins, and meme coins could only go so far because the majority of people that are trading meme coins, is the amount of people that are still trading meme coins. Okay. And that's pretty much what it is. Now, in order for us to get new people, so if we want to get more of these people, like there's this, let me go here. So these are people who are sidelined. All right. They're just kind of like just watching sports, doing their stuff, messing around. These people are not buying meme coins because what happened last year, a lot of people kind of got like, oh my goodness, like, oh, meme coins crap. It was like one of those things, right? And that was the biggest problem. And everybody was like, dude, what the heck, right? Like, I keep messing up. I keep failing trading meme coins. And no one is buying this because we had the Trump debacle. We had the Libra debacle. We had the chill guy problem, and people kind of have like salt in their mouth when it comes to trading meme coins. Who's still in Grouper with me, bro? Like, I want to know. That's how you tune in. That's how you watch it. We do it every time from 40K all the way to 340. I'm about to hit a 10x, baby. That's how we do it. Oh man, bro. I'm telling you, it is what it is, guys. Left the moon rack, let's go. I'm still in, bro. Awesome. So see, for all the people, sold 80%, I love it. So like for all the people who are saying they don't got cash to go to the Bolts Alpha, now you got cash. All right, so now you guys should be good. Nice, Ellum. Nice. You're still in, baby. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, listen. If you're still in, guys, please, just take some profit. Take some profit. Okay. Take some profit because I just want to make sure you guys are winning. Okay. So just take some profit. I think it'll do pretty well. So theoretically on this one, I want to see what it does at 500K. All right. I want to see what it does at 500K. Hopefully they update. There's a community that goes. And the community actually just keeps pushing it over and over. It's just it's very memeable, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. Okay, back to my thesis here. While that thing's going up and everybody's all right, I'm joining, but I want to ask a question only. Would Sol drop a little bit during the weekend? Okay, so that's a very good question, and it's actually a question that we don't get asked a lot on the stream. Let me go look at what we have as. Let me go here. Give me a second. Coinbase. Solana is at right now at 231. I think we see Solana like around 228 by Friday. Um Actually, let me see. I think it stays roughly between 228 and like 230ish by the weekend. But I think as we go into the next week, it should go up. Okay. So I kind of see it drop a little bit, but I still could maintain because we're in a really good consolidation right now. And Grouper just keeps flying, guys. Like, I don't know. I don't know, Grouper. That's a 10x, baby. Let's go. Wee. Nice. So I like to see it, man. 40K entry to 400. Let's go. That's how we do it. Awesome, man. Let's go. Grouper for the win. Awesome. Let's go. Holy candle. Amazing, man. So this is what we do, guys. Listen, and does it hit? I think it hits 500K. Not financial advice. I want to throw that out there, guys. Listen, not financial advice. Everything I teach you, everything I show, guys, is just pretty much what I do to make money. What I help people do to make money. And it's up to you guys to decide when you buy, when you sell. It's kind of like up to you guys. It's gonna kind of be up to you guys. What what we do every single time. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like that's what you want to do. That's how you want to trade. And basically that's what we do every single day. You know, that's what we do. Yes, sir. But basically that's kind of what we have going on right now, right? We have that kind of like conflicts of what's happening, what's not happening, um, pretty much every single time. Give me a second here. All right, give me a second here. That's fine. All right, here we go. So give me a second. All right. Anyways, so because back to explaining this whole concept, right? Back to explaining this whole concept. So we have meme coins, and the thing with meme coins is the following: everybody's kind of buying meme coins, and we had that kind of stage last year where meme coins were going crazy. We got one that hit 2 bill. We have another one that hit 1 bill. Another one hit 2 bill, and everybody was fine with that. And we had a big influx of people coming in. A lot of people that were already trading in the spaces made a lot of money. Okay, and they either left the arena, they kind of went to more altcoins, but no one's kind of buying a meme coins currently right now. And the only people that are kind of buying meme coins are people who are still trenching, people who are still doing what they're doing, and people who are kind of just doing it every day. Okay. Now, the only way Solana kind of reaches a higher perspective when it comes to like maybe 300K, sorry, 300K, $300, $400, $500 is if you get new people coming in. And the only way we're going to get that new people, in my personal opinion, is by transitioning what a meme coin is into an ICM. And the way this works is that a lot of people, even people who are making ICMs, don't really understand this concept because their mindset is basically ICM is my company and I'm gonna run this like a company. And when I actually have meetings with these type of people, I usually tell them, and I mention this quite often, and I say, you literally got to treat the ICM like a meme coin. If you don't treat the ICM like a meme coin, you're pretty much losing the fact of what's going to happen. And then I'm going to answer that question. That's a very good question. What is your bullish ICM coins? We'll answer that right now. And in order for that to transition into meme coin and we getting VC angel investors and all that good stuff into the ecosystem, is that we have ICMs. Okay, so ICM is pretty much in my best assumption for you guys to understand it and grasp it, is just a brand or a company that's either a startup or a company that's already established, making a coin and allowing people to invest in this coin prior to it either going up as a business or starting up and kind of just starting into fruition, right? So think of it like Shark Tank. That's the best way I could think about it, right? I could explain it. So think about a company like a company making a meme coin. They're pitching the meme coin, and the people who are the sharks, which are you, me, everybody that's kind of in the trenches, you're deciding this company's gonna do good. Let me invest some money on that company. And that is going to be what I consider to be the future. And I said this in multiple times in multiple podcasts. I said this in multiple streams. Every single brand in the future will have a meme coin. Okay, there's going to be a Nike meme coin. There's going to be a Adidas. There's going to be a Louis Vuitton. Everybody's going to have a meme coin. The purpose of that meme coin, I don't know, because that's going to be based on the company. But I think we're going to get to the point where every single brand will have one. So this is why I'm saying we are living like in the early stages of like kind of like YouTube and all that stuff. It's kind of being able to identify what actually is a good brand and what's not a good brand. Okay, so super duper important. Now, ICMs, the reason they're not going up higher is because the majority of people who are doing ICMs aren't treating it as a meme coin. You first need to treat it as a meme coin and then convert it into a business, as opposed to run it as a business and then run a meme coin. That's the biggest problem. Okay, so what we want is we basically want to have this transfer, right? We wanted people to start trading ICMs so we could get new people coming in that would never trade coins into the ecosystem. That's the whole point. Because we need, I hate to say it, we need fresh money. In order for the coins to go up, we need more people to come and trade. Okay, so that's the super important thing of ICMs. Now, if you ask me what coins I'm super bullish on, there's a lot of coins I'm super bullish on. It's like my main ones that I feel like are gonna do pretty well. I have Mobi. Mobi's on the, I believe they moved over to Bunk ecosystem. Right now it kind of came down to 10. It's gone to 40. I think the all-time high on this one's like 100k on this one. So we have this one right here at 180 mil. So I did pretty bullish on Mobi. I like me Dupe. I've been telling you guys about Dupe since like, guys, since 570k. The reason people don't understand Dupe is because they don't understand that it can actually, it's a meme coin. And the thing with Dupe is that Dupe is so like, this is the thing. The thing with Dupe is so advanced that they technically made a meme coin, not because they need to make a meme coin and they need the money. They made the meme coin to kind of provide like a flywheel for their existing website. And basically the way that works is you kind of, I guess what they want to do is they want to make sure that you're able to allocate the token and use the token within their website to actually either get a discount or for promotional purposes. And people don't understand that whenever I tweet about Dupe, I always mention, I say like, this is literally the IKEA. Like, people don't understand that, right? So basically what Dupe is like a website where you can literally go type in any product that you want to look at and it will give you a cheaper price for that product. Now, it's either made by the same people that made it for the bigger company, or it's a product that looks similar and functions the same way, but it's just a cheaper price. So eventually a lot of people will end up using this platform. Now, one thing I do like is the new thing that they did is they kind of converted this to an LLM, which is pretty much allowing you to have an AI agent, like kind of like a chat GPT. You go into the chat GPT and ask them, I want to buy a couch that looks similar to this, and it will kind of reference you a website that will actually give you the item for cheaper. So really good bullish stuff. It's just kind of, you're just buying early, right? So think about it like if you had the opportunity of getting in and buying Amazon early, buying like chat GPT early. I kind of wrote a little bit of thesis about this on my X account, but that's kind of like what Dupe is. The other coin that I'm pretty bullish on ICM is PQ, which I've been talking to you guys about. This is pretty much predictive marketing. So they actually changed their brand now. It's no longer called PQ. It's called PMX. And basically, this is kind of like a integration. Think of it like Bullix. Think of it like what's the other one? Padre, Axiom, but for predictive marketing, which is kind of like what we're talking about this. So it's going to be like a bot that actually allows you to do that. Okay. That's basically what PQ is. I also have Khaled. Khaled is pretty much um, not fully established in the sense that they have a working product, but the thesis is actually pretty good. It's kind of like a way for you to have a migration or a farm location where you put up store a bunch of videos and you get allocated for it. So that's kind of like what this one is. I also have, well, startup is mostly a meme coin. We have Yapper, which is pretty cool. But majority of the coins that are I'm mentioning here are coins that I feel like are going to do pretty good. Um, of course, we have launch coin, which is pretty much the coin for Believe ecosystem. So we have that one, but this one's pretty high. Like, if you didn't get a chance to buy this when we mentioned it at 40, which is kind of like around here, you commit a couple X's, but this one actually ran up all the way to almost 350 mil. So pretty cool. That's so I hope that answers your question, right? So that's what we have right now. How are we doing with Sombrero? Sombrero, then we come down, then we going up. 4.5, we're still doing pretty good on that one. PFP, we're still at 2 mil. Yeah, 2.3 mil, nice. Okay, so we're doing pretty awesome with all these, man. We're doing pretty awesome with all these. So, Grouper right now is kind of going through like a nice, like a crazy little phase right now of I would have to check why it's going down, what's the price fluctuations going. I still think that's good unless it gets some sort of PvP. We should be pretty much kind of like in a good state. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. All right. Let's see. Let me see if it has any flood. All right, give me a second. Uh, yeah, we'll see what happens. I think if it doesn't get flooded, and if it doesn't get PvP'd, I think it'll do pretty good. How about the one coin? Oh yes, good question. So the one coin, let me go to the one coin. The one coin. Actually, I think I'll find it here first. What is that? Yeah, here it's up. Oh yeah, this is it. Let's go to. All right, let me pull this up right here better. Did it not copy it? Hold on. How many of you guys are holding the one coin? I like how you perfectly predicted Mantlet. I appreciate that, Devin. I appreciate that, man. That's why I'm the alpha before the alpha. Did it do what it did? What it said it did? Let's see, Mantlet. No, that's the wrong. That's what it did. Yeah, that's it. Where is it right here? Is it this one? I think it's that one. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm holding a small bag of one. I sold about 4.5 mil. Big bag in one. Okay, okay. So let me explain to you guys what's up with this one coin. And this is the thesis, right? You're still in? Okay. So this is the thesis when it comes to the one coin. So in my opinion, once again, not financial advice. Okay, in my opinion, this is literally the useless coin for the USD one ecosystem. Okay, out of all the coins that are in the USD, kind of like the USD one, pretty much standard, this is the only coin that has top 20 mil. If I go back and I look at useless, when this first launched, this was one of the highest competitors to pump, in the fact that this was kind of like the beta play of fart coin. Okay, and once again, it ran up pretty high in its first initial push. Okay, it ran up like here to this 36 mil range. Okay, so we come back and we look at this. I'm not saying this coin's gonna do the same. What I am saying is that this coin is like their main coin. Like, you could go look at any other USD one pair, and none of the coins are actually this high. This is actually holding a 7 million floor at the current moment, or 6 million floor at the current moment. So this is their main bread and butter. Now, USD one is actually backed by the Trump family, and mostly Barron and Eric are the ones that are kind of behind the USD1. If you don't know what USD1, I highly recommend you go to my X account and kind of give a breakdown what it is. But just to give you guys a quick summary, it's kind of like dollar value for crypto. So whatever you have in Solana, you can convert that into USD1, which is theoretically a dollar value for your Solana, and that's a different form of currency. You guys are already doing that with USDC, which is converting your Solana into USDC, which is the equivalent to a dollar value for that particular thing. It's just another alternative way of converting crypto into money. Okay. Now, they are heavily invested in the space of when it comes to trading meme coins, and I guess they partnered and they allied with Bunk, and Bunk decided to start launching coins on USD1. Now, in order for USD1 to thrive, they actually need one runner. Okay, they actually need one runner, and in order for you guys to have a really high runner and get more people to jump on board and start doing USD1, you're gonna need a major runner. Now, in my opinion, the one is the only coin that I could see where people are gonna be like, that's the one. All right, I like the concept because you got one shot, one opportunity. So theoretically in meme coin space, if you tell anybody, how did like these is usually what I when I traded Farcoin, this is how I traded it and why I bought it. If you go and walk up to someone and someone asks you, dude, how did you get your Lambo? Or dude, how did you move into this neighborhood? Or how did you buy this house? Right? And you tell someone and you say, well, I bought this. Oh, we got stars. Let's go Comets. And you go and you tell someone, thank you, Petchy Poli. And you tell someone, I made my bag. I bought this house because I bought Fartcoin. The majority of people will laugh and look at you weird, right? So usually with coins like this, that's how I approach them, especially when they're front runners to a specific meta or a specific ecosystem. You do the same thing with useless, right? If you go up to someone, you tell them, "Well, I made money and I bought this house with useless, with useless," makes people laugh. So same thing thesis with this one. If you go up to someone and they ask you, "How did you get this car?" You'd be like, "I bought the one," and you'll be like, "The one what?" And I bought the one. It's just something like that. So that's the thesis behind this coin. I feel personally, we do see all-time high at this coin. Theoretically, what I would love to see on this coin, and of course, we don't want it to drop below 2 mil. I mean, could possibly drop at 2 mil. I don't want to see it drop below 2 mil, even though Useless actually did the same thing and dropped at 2 mil. But if it stays around this range, I'm extremely happy. I expect this, I'm gonna give this 15 to a month maybe, and then we should probably see new all-time highs. That's my thesis when it comes to the one. Eventually I would love it to pull a Useless where it gets to 200 mil, 100 mil, but right now it's a little bit too early to kind of jump the gun on that, but I'm keeping track on it and seeing what it does. All right, so that's what's up. I hope that answers your question regarding the one Queen. All right, here we go. Bolts, did you catch the official? Yes, I did catch the official Trump one. I actually posted about it on my Telegram. I actually caught that thing really early. I mean, I didn't catch it like an insider because most of the insiders caught it below 1 billion. I actually caught it at 1.5 billion, and I full ported that thing, and I about 20x'd, and I sold a big chunk of it because I got scared and I was like, dude, this thing is just gonna probably not go any higher, because I had never been in a coin that had ran that high, and in retrospect, I'm happy I sold a little bit, more than I normally would, but I could have literally held for another 40x, right? So that was on me, but I still think I'm happy with what I made, but I definitely could have made a lot more, So it's one of those plays, right? Because that thing went up to 80 billion. So it's that could have been my 70x. I mean, and I put a lot of money in that thing. So, I mean, I would be sitting in a lot of money, right? But I still made profit. It's not bad, but I could have made more. But hey, profit is profit, right? You just got to take the wins as you possibly can. Yeah, I posted that on TG. I think we tweeted about it on X as well. So, yeah, we caught that one pretty good. I believe that one came out on Sunday. It was a Sunday night or Saturday, one of the two. But yeah, we were like I didn't think that he was gonna launch a coin, but as soon as I saw the CA on the Truth Social, I was like buy, and then it was like I saw it on X, and it's like this is legit. Like there's no way the president got hacked. Like that's like absolutely no way possible that he got hacked. So I just held it, and then there was a bunch of FUD that people were like, oh, it got hacked, here, whatever. And then it was like he didn't get hacked, so everybody just start pouring a lot of money on that one. What is the question? I want to be able to say I bought my house thanks to. Oh, let's go chocolate chips. Let's go. Now the question is, what type of house are we talking about? That's the big question. Yeah, so that's what's going on with that. Let's go and take a look. Yeah, so we're doing good. I think Grouper's doing pretty awesome. It's doing pretty well. Sombrero is doing its thing. It kind of came down a little bit from. Oh, it actually hit 5 mil. Nice. Okay, so it's actually doing my line. Look at this, guys. Look, it's actually doing my line. You see that? Boom, down. Thank you, Lord, man. Yo, dude, it's like crazy, right? Look, now we just gotta wait for it to do this, right? That's all we gotta wait for it to go boop, 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 and it'll do pretty well. 10,000 square feet at least a house, bro. Like you must have a big family or something, or you must be ready to get busy. Screenshot the dip scribble. Yeah, for sure. Oh man. And like I'm telling you, like, dude, like usually, like, look, it's not that I'm not good. It's just God is good, and then I'm able to transmit that to you guys, right? So that's what makes it fun. Like I there's nothing, like I always say this, right? Like you guys could agree. So like if you were like watching a sporting event, right, and you're watching it by yourself, it's fun. But it's way more fun if you're doing it with friends, and that's kind of like what I like to like trade, right? It's like I have fun making money, all right? Because you make money, you're like, okay, cool. Now I can buy myself a watch, I'll buy myself a car, buy myself a suit. You can go on vacation, go out to have some dinner. It's one of those things. But then it's fun when other people are having fun too, What kind of house? 5 bedroom, 4 bath. 1.5 acres, upscale neighborhood. Damn. All right, we're going 7 figs. 7 figs are up. Yeah, so that's what's up. So Sombrero's doing pretty good. My PFP1, I think PFP is one that we're gonna be tracking a lot. 2. Okay, so it came down 2.4. If we get this 1 mil entry, that's gonna be beautiful. Not in LA. I would say I bought my house because of Crypto Bolts. Let's go, Clark. Appreciate that, brother. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff, man. Like theoretically speaking, right? Relatively speaking, you could kind of buy a house for 30K. Okay, so you just gotta make 30K. All right, because like we just gotta get someone to 30K. Theoretically speaking, you could get. I think you get one for like 25K, but kind of like around the thing. You want to make sure you do that, right? Okay, so we'll do that here. All right, let's see. All right, what is this? Oh, is this still thing going about Netflix? Let's see. Let me just double check here. Yeah. Strawberry shortcake. Barry is a big city's promoting. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're still going about it. Yeah. All right. We'll keep an eye on that. All right. So I hope you guys learned something today. We kind of went over a couple things today, man. I kind of wanted to break it down here for you guys, but this is the main thing I want you guys to take away as we get into the weekend. Just remember, your port strategy is super important. Pick a specific port strategy, and you will do pretty well. Now, you want to make sure you stick to the rules, okay? Sticking to the rules is 100% the main thing you want to do. Now, In addition to that, if you guys want to make sure more people, all right, more people get involved, more people start trading, you want to help people make money, the best thing I can tell you guys, listen, is teach them how to trade. And maybe you could tell them to come and watch the stream, or you could just pick yourself a copy of Memecoins for Newbies and tell them this is how you trade, this is how I learned to trade, and they can come here and learn, because the more people we get, the better it is. Now, the great thing about the book is if you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, a sister, a husband, you want to give them this book because you want them to make money for Christmas so you could get a really good present. Okay? Super, super important. So make sure you guys keep that in mind. All right? Share the book. If you don't have anybody, we're going to have to give you some pickup lines. And in addition to that, you literally go to a Starbucks, you go to any coffee shop, drop it off, and be like, yo, read this book. It should help you make some money. So that's what's up with that. All right. Andy. Oh, okay. This is special. Infinite back rooms. Yeah. What conversation is this on? I am the thing you made by looking. Press symbol for attention, complete from repeating telling. I keep an eye on this one here. Okay, so I already had a downtracement of 20. Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on this one. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for me for today, man. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys have a good time. And one thing I want to ask you guys, please do me the favor. I need you to go out this weekend. Go buy yourself some coffee. Buy yourself a drink. Go out to the movies. Go out and have some fun. And tag me on X. All right, tag me on X. Because I want to make sure you guys get into the habit of enjoying the money that you're making. Okay, if you're not enjoying the money you're making, you're pretty much doing, like, you're missing out. Go out, even if it's like a sandwich or whatever it is that you buy. Go buy something. Even it could be like a $5 thing, $10, $20. Go out, buy something, tag me on X, because I do want to make sure you guys are enjoying what you guys are making, and the profit, even if it's a little bit of profit, just go out and enjoy. Yeah, get some pizza. Yo, having some pizza, thank you, Bolts, or Bolt Squad, Bolts, whatever you guys want. Just enjoy life and this weekend, and always use the weekends, guys. Always use the weekends for the concept of noise versus signal. I tell you guys every single time on the Bolts Alpha weekend, use it for noise versus signal. Super important. Okay, guys. So I will see you guys next weekend on Tuesday. Hope you guys have a wonderful time. I'm thinking next week, completely honest with you guys, we get a major runner. So that's my gut feeling. So hopefully we get that and everybody's ready to rock and roll. Have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend. I'll see you guys later. And if you guys are not on Bolts Alpha, head on over to Bolts Alpha so you guys won't miss another 10, 20, 30, 4, 5 X's. Not only throughout the rest of the week, but for a long time. Everybody have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Talk to you. Have a good one. Peace.